Summary of the PHAHAME intervention of December 4, 2019. Beginning of Satsang 4, on December 5, 2019. Well then, we'll start this satsang by trying to solve a small technical problem that occurred yesterday. That is to say, we had a PHAHAME channeling with extremely important elements for this month of December from very soon. The surprise apparently seems to be for December 8th, so we will try to remember what was said, at least in broad terms, in relation to what PHAHAME said yesterday. So if there are any of you who remember, who have noted things in relation to PHAHAME, I would like them to come and express it because, yesterday, however, it was clear, as much today, I have completely forgotten. I simply remember that December was indeed going to be a colorful month as AYOUN had said, that all this was going to be set up from the 8th, but apart from that I forgot everything. So if any of you remember the main lines that PHAHAME said, well, it is with pleasure that we must come and express it for all our brothers and sisters. Brother, what impressed me most was that PHAHAME, yesterday, explained to us that indeed, everything began on December 8th, it was the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Now, what is really encouraging is that she explained to us that whatever happens, all the men and women in their hearts, all the events we are going to live through, it will be very fluid for them. Then she explained to us, what is extraordinary is that from December 8th, there is a great movement of reconciliation at the global level. It is not only at the level of a country, at the global level, where all the possibilities of establishing individual peace to reach humanity, it is extraordinary the coloring that will emerge from this reconciliation. It is not only at the event level, it is at the collective level, it is at the level of the possibility of finding this agape. In any case, what impressed me was, above all that, what impressed me most was that they explained to us about the intergalactic fleet, all that, they supported us all. We were supported by our brothers and sisters from outside the planet. So, it's really a great event whose colors, we'll see, will satisfy us. Thank you. Thank you to you. Any other information? Reconciliation, indeed, I had forgotten, sorry. Sister. I remember what I remember. She talked about the waters from above, she told us about the great flood we had experienced. What I understood was something similar to this, something that we are going to be touched by, and that, with all this, she was telling us that, when a place on the planet is touched, it will be up to us to place ourselves in a spatial resonance agape. On the territory. Sister. Yes, example, if it happens in Brazil, well then, we send it, we communicate that way with the people of Brazil and it will help them. Then she added agape interdimensional spatial resonance. Interdimensional. Sister. Yes, but it was with the flood afterwards, she said. Remember what the grandpa said, which is still effective, you are love. Then it is to put love forward, backward, above, below, left, right. Brother. Inside, outside. Sister. And that we didn't have to question ourselves, whether we recognized ourselves. Yes, we all recognized each other, probably with what we did this week. Don't worry, we know who we are now. On this notion also of reconciliation and forgiveness at the planetary, cosmic and all levels, it is also the dream situation of reconciliation and forgiveness at the individual level in all possible situations. Yesterday, I read Paul's testimony to you, what happened. Here is an example of reconciliation that does not pass through words or explanations, or fight, but through love before, and Paul opened on that occasion. In the most difficult situation, the most difficult to live with, you have a start before reacting, calling the police or other, agape. And it worked. So that's what reconciliation is all about. It is to allow the other and oneself, because there it is on both sides. In forgiveness, it is not to forgive what has been done anyway, it is an illusion to forgive what, it belongs to the illusion, but if you put agape or love in front of it, well, it will work. This is what is important, and especially in conflict situations, personal or collective, even war or other, it is there that we will have the most opportunities to see precisely the effect of a gape. Not to be carried away by emotions, not to be carried away by history, not to be carried away by circumstances that can be violent at any level, but to grant forgiveness, not by saying I forgive you, it is not even worth thinking about that, but by putting a gape in front, with the situation, with the circumstance, that is fundamental. Something else she said, PHAHAME. Sister. Because as her brother said, yes, she talked about December 8th and it would last, a period of 3 weeks. 3 weeks, exactly. Which brings us, as if by chance, 3 weeks later, to December 29th, that is, 3 days after the annular eclipse of the Sun on December 26th, which according to some authors, was not according to me, I didn't have time to watch, linked to the cartoon I, Pet Goat II, which you may know, right? A cartoon that featured Obama and a number of elements and that fully corresponds to the events that occurred there, on the stage organized by the simulacrum concerning September 11th, the murder of Bin Laden, and what is predicted by these puppets on December 26th, which is the eclipse of the Sun. If we count 3 weeks from December 8th to 29, it brings us 3 days, 3 days and 3 nights, just after December 26th. Here, let's not make projections, simply, it corresponds to things that are in the cosmos, we will see what happens on Earth. But it's a period when it's going to be very colorful, as was said by Grandpa and as Alan has already said. We didn't forget anything. Sister. Yes, me. From PHAHAME. If. Come on, come on. Come and refresh our memory. Sister. What I also understood is that, in this context of great forgiveness, really set great forgiveness, to be in this state of agape resonance, it brought a state of momentary compassion for all those who would live these great sufferings and that this is extremely important. There was that, and also, I don't know if I understood correctly, but what she also said was to share it with others, even if they were with the resistance, to spread the good news. There is no need to, how can I say this, to hold back, it is to share it even if they are in a panic, even that, to take it away, because they were going to accept it anyway in depth. There you go. Sister. Even if they are in resistance. Because that made me happy. No, you got it right. Sister. Yes, that's right. So and also, it is the state of compassion, to absorb all the terror, all the cold, the word she used, the cold. Whispers in the room. So, Marie-France, was there anything else? Sister. It's just, during an important event, she said, we go into a gape, but we don't try to stop the rain or stop the hurricane. Especially not, especially not. Sister. That's right. Above all, we must not try to, especially not. Do not ask that the troubles stop, put love on it, that's all. Sister. That's right, we're not trying to do meditations to stop the hurricane. If you make a request, it is like a gape for care. If there is care, it is done alone, but if you ask, it is no longer a gape. Sister. No. It is a request, it is a prayer, it is a projection. Sometimes it is useful, but not in relation to the process that will take place. Simply, you provide the good news through the agape resonance, you give the good news, okay. Even if it is at a distance, even if it is in a country where there are floods, earthquakes or other disasters, do not ask that it stop, but simply ask that the good news be spread to them. Because, moreover, if you think about it, you know very well that human beings are never as good as when they're up to their necks in poop. Laughs. Because the ego, their emergency situations, and we know very well that mutual aid at that time, fraternity, humanity, it emerges more easily in suffering than in abundance and opulence, it is evident. I think we've gone through what PHAHAME said. So we're going to move on to, Adrian, you had something to say, didn't you? Has that been said? Sister. Everything has been said. If you say, you come here. Sister. Everything has been said. Ah, everything has been said. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Sister, thank you. Through Jean-Luc Young. Les Transformations. English Revised Translation. LMF.